give you a woo so you know. Okay. But I'll go ahead and do this part. You can walk out. Alyssa, this is episode number 180, air date October the 21st, 2022. Minutes and memories. All right. La di da di da. And now I'm waiting for you to walk out the door. Anyway, sorry, Alyssa, honey. I'm just kidding. But yeah. Still hearing my me. What do you know? Welcome to Paint a Beautiful Picture. This is episode number 180, Minutes and Memories. I have to tell you, I can really be a major get-down video game addict. I actually played this game on the original Nintendo called Klax until I had the fourth highest score in the entire whole world. I didn't register it with the official site, but I showed it to my grandkids. I showed them the original site and how all these people had these scores, and I showed them mine, and they were like, Granny, you need to go on there. And I said, no, I don't need the recognition. I just know I'm that good. You know what? It took me a couple of years to get to be that good. I still like to play certain video games now, and I tell you the truth, sometimes 3 or 4 hours can just disappear right before my very eyes when I'm really engaged with this one game that I play because I really like it. I think sometimes many minutes of our lives can get away from us, and I think it's kind of understandable if we need some downtime, but on the other hand, it can be kind of sad. I think that often our kids will go through many, many, many minutes in their lives. Who? Sorry, Alyssa.
Wow, help me.
All right, let's do this again. Man.
Okay.
Okay. Ooh. I think that many, many minutes of their lives kids can spend going, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that, I wish I were here. They just wish away the minute that they're in. They struggle to live where they are at this moment because it is uncomfortable or because they have great anticipation about something else that's coming up again, and they just waste the minutes that they have. I watch a lot of people in waiting rooms. It's a place where people can waste minutes, sometimes 15 to 30 of them at a crack, and they're just leafing through a magazine or whatever. I always carry something to sew or something to crochet or something to knit. I usually have something with me. I'm not really too big on wasting time because I never have enough to get everything done that I would like to get done. So I tend to not waste too many of my minutes. Even as adults, we're kind of prone to this. We get home from a busy day at work, or we have a busy day of errands. We've been running to the grocery store and paying all these bills and taking care of things, and we get home. Just give me a minute to myself. And that's very legit. We actually do need a minute or 10 here and there to take care of ourselves. But when that gets to be the habit pattern of our life, 5 and 6 times a day, just give me a minute, and we go somewhere and check out and veg out. We're away from our family, away from our children, even away from our mate. We're not living life to the fullest extent. So we need to teach our children that life is a really valuable commodity. I can honestly tell you this. No matter how old the person, I was once with I think he was 97, this gentleman, as he was passing. I've never heard anyone in the death process say, wow, I've had plenty of time. I don't need any more. I'm good. Everything's over. They're always saying, I wish I just had a little more time, a little more time. We need to be aware of that. We need to help our children to be aware of that too, because all the minutes that we have that we haven't made the best use of, or we've just frittered away, Someday, we might actually regret that. We really might. And I have to tell you, particularly as a parent, if you aren't making the best use of the time that you have right now, you will most likely come to a place where you regret the time that you wasted those precious minutes with your children, because they are only inside of your house for a very limited space of time, and then they are gone. You have one shot at this, just one. And so you need to take the minutes of your life seriously. You also need to teach your kids that those minutes are pretty precious. It doesn't mean there aren't minutes to laugh and minutes to play and minutes to goof around, and all of it takes balance in life. I just want you to know, don't waste too many minutes, and teach your children the importance of it. Then there is the concept of memories. There are definitely things that we do that are important enough that kids remember. So I have lots of siblings. I talk to them about things they remember from our childhood. Every single one of them remembers different things as significant. It isn't about, oh, we went to White Cloud, Minnesota and visited one of my mother's childhood friends, which I remember incredibly well. I thought that was a beautiful trip. Geographically, it was an incredibly beautiful trip. I also appreciated some of the time in the car, though you throw 8 or 9 kids into a car with some adults and it gets pretty crowded in there, especially for a very, very long drive. Nonetheless, I remember playing some of the games in the car and some of the conversations we had. I do absolutely remember it. I think I was 6 at the time. Some of my siblings don't even remember that trip. They don't even recall that we went on a trip or that we went to visit my mom's childhood friend. They don't know anything about that trip. I always find the development of memories, the memories that we cherish or treasure, and the parts of the memories in relationship to events as very interesting. You don't know when your child is an adult what they're going to remember. You have no idea. So the best thing you can do is make sure there are lots of memorable parts. You might say to me, what in the world are you talking about? Kids do remember things like going to Disney World, but what they really remember is the daily patterns of life. If they say, my dad had a really bad temper, he yelled and screamed about everything, he was always upset, that's because just about every day that was significant through their childhood, that's the way you acted. If they say, my mom was really calm, she was very kind, and she kept things organized and under control, we really had a smoothly run household, and it was great. We laughed and we cried and we sang, and it was amazing. That's because that was the general daily demeanor that they associated with childhood. You, Mom, you, Dad, you were responsible for many of the memories and the kinds of memories that your children will have about their childhood. You might not have really thought about this before, so I want to encourage you, if you're still working on your Paint a Beautiful Picture notebook, to write down this challenge question today. What am I doing to be sure that my children's childhood memories are good? It doesn't mean going on crazy expensive vacations, buying them big extravagant gifts. No. It is about the daily things that are going on in your house that will set the tone of your child's memories. What does that mean? It means, can you be fun? Are you so busy with work, so busy with your phone, so busy watching your favorite shows, so busy in your man cave, so busy doing the laundry and taking care of everything that has to get done in the house that you have no time, not 10 minutes, to sit down and have fun with your child? Oh, that's what they're going to remember. My mom, my dad, they were just way too busy. They never had any time for me. That's why I want you to really seriously consider purposefully, in teaching your children the value and the beauty of memories, what are you teaching them? What are you showing them? What kind of memories are you putting into their childhood? If they really love dance, yeah, it's great to take them to dance class. I get that. If they really love football, it's awesome to take them to football practice. But what about you dancing in the kitchen with them? What about you throwing the football around in the backyard? These things are actually as important, if not far more important, than you taking them to class, taking them to practice. It needs to be a part of what you do with them, not once, but over and over again. So it puts a place in their memory store that this was something that was important to me, and something that my mom, a thing that my dad did together with me because it was important to me. Look at your own childhood memories. What sticks out? Just take a couple minutes and think about that. What really stands out to you? I actually love the outdoors, and so I enjoy camping, canoeing, going for great walks in the woods, a lot of things. I've shared before that my dad was really good at helping my brother and I find both cocoons and chrysalises of butterflies and moths, and putting them into terrariums and being able to see them as they came out from the metamorphosis process, and it was amazing to see. My brother and I would go catch butterflies. We both loved it. We had a net that my mom made for us and put it on a stick because we were pretty poor. But still, it worked, and we caught a lot of butterflies. One of the great memories of my life, and it happened repeatedly, so it wasn't just one time, was running through the fields with my brother, catching these butterflies, putting them into a jar, and closing them in. And sometimes we would literally have 15 or 20 butterflies in a jar. It would occasionally injure their wings. We learned better. We learned to take multiple jars with us after a while. But I just remember the joy of a sunny, warm